Hello folks and welcome to Gothic Vision for today's men's volleyball game between the Gothic Knights of New Jersey City University and the Griffins of Sarah Lawrence College. Hopefully you just heard some of the starting lineups there. For Sarah Lawrence, they have 6 players on the day, so all 6 will be starting and they'll be out there all game. You'll be quite familiar with them by the end of the day. For the Knights, they've got their top starting lineup in action with the reigning NJAC Player of the Week, Jonathan Andrews, as well as the reigning NJAC Rookie of the Week, Jeffrey Rodriguez, joined by multiple-time Rookie of the Week, Leo Ferrari. So they will look to get over 500 on the season. They come into today with a record of 11-11, having reached 500 their last time out against St. Elizabeth with a 3-0 sweep. This match has been moved around a couple times. It was originally on a Tuesday, then it was pushed back to Saturday, and now it's being played today. It was going to be a tri-match, but Wilkes could not field enough players, so it will just be a matchup between Sarah Lawrence and NJCU. If the voice sounds a little dissimilar to you, this is Jim Turvey. I'm taking over for Ira Thor today. We are shorthanded due to the schedule changes, so I will be walking you through the game today. Sarah Lawrence comes into the game with a record of 1-13 on the season. They're 0-4 in the Skyline. They've lost 11 in a row, so they'll be looking to get off the snide a little bit, even though they're shorthanded. The Knights will be serving first. They'll be turning to Jimmy Vega to lead them. He's a junior out of Harrison, New Jersey. They've gone to Harrison High School. Drops it in. Dug out by Callan Moore. Moreira just sends it over there for the Knights. And the first point goes to the Gothic Knights. The Knights on the season, surprisingly, despite their 500 record, they actually have some pretty strong season statistics. They have outkilled their opponents 793 to 615, and they're hitting 164 compared to 127 for their opponents. As Sarah Lawrence picked up the second point, I was mistaken on that first point. I misread the ref's motion, so we're actually 2-0 to Sarah Lawrence here. The serve there from Felix Massey. He's a freshman out of Pacific Palisades, California. There's the first point for the Knights, so they get on the board. Jonathan Andrews will be taking the serve for them. Andrews having a very strong season for the Knights. He is their leader in kills with 176, as well as aces with 48. Here's Vega for Moreira. Just out by Moreira as the Griffins take the 3-1 lead. Now be turning number 3, Itai Diakov for the serve. Diakov is a junior outside hitter from Bulgaria. Griffins now lead 4-1. The two teams have met 6 times in school history. This will be a 7th meeting. The Knights have yet to drop even a single game to the Griffins, so they will look to continue their dominant stretch. And a nice kill there from Rodriguez. Pulls them to within 2 early here in the first game of what will be the only match. Again, if you're just tuning in, it was originally going to be a tri-match, but we are just going to see NJCU and Sarah Lawrence match up. Rodriguez comes up a little short on the serve there. They'll go back over to the Griffins with a 5-2 lead. They will turn to Divij Kapoor. He is a sophomore out of India. Ludhiana being the city, the Don School. Moreira with a hit there. Dug out by Massey. Andrews to Vega to Ferrari with a nice kill there from Ferrari. Ferrari has been very impressive in his freshman year. The freshman outside hitter out of Kearney ranks second on the Knights in points. He is third in kills. Actually, yeah, pardon me, he's third in points as well. Third in kills. He's a strong server as well. Here's Aaron Mantilla for the Knights on the serve. Dug out by Moore. Nice block there from Stawicki, joined by Christian Ramirez up front. The Knights are now within one. They'll look to continue to cut into the Griffins' early lead that they had. Mantilla with the serve. Nice serve again. Dug out by Diakov. Sent over by the Griffins. JJ, a one-handed push shot there. Ferrari. Very nice shot that will get the job done in the back line there. The Knights are now all tied up after an early mini deficit. They'll turn to Mantilla again, who has led them the last couple points. He takes the serve, long run up, drops it right in, dug out by Diakov. Pushed over, here's Mantilla to Berdesia, sent up Stawicki. Tries a little drop shot, the Griffins were onto it. Berdesia sets up the wrong team on that one. The Griffins will go back in the lead, 6-5. The Griffins have just 6 players active today, so you will not be seeing any substitutions on their end. And we now see number 6, Will Wilson. He's listed as number 4 online. Nice kill from Ferrari there, as I interrupt myself. He is listed online as number 4, but he will be playing in jersey number 6. That's Will Wilson out of Atlanta, Georgia. It's quite the diverse number of hometowns from the Griffins. We see they have a player from Pakistan, a player from Bulgaria, California, obviously California, not a different country, but still pretty far away. India, Beijing, Jamaica, so it's quite the diverse roster. Ferrari with the dig, Stawicki with the kill. Came off a little funky, got the job done though, and he will tie things up. And the Knights will turn to Christian Ramirez for the serve. Ramirez is a sophomore out of West New York, having gone to Memorial High School. If you've been watching these games on Gothic Vision all year, you know that quite a few players on this team have the West New York Memorial connection. Umanzor, as well as Jirlis Vasquez, JJ Berdesia, all of them went to Memorial High School in West New York. Couple miles up the way. Knights take the lead here. They're going to go to Ramirez again. It's a strong serve, and that will be an ace for Ramirez. His reward, another serve, as the Knights now lead 9-7 here in the first game. Dug up by Kapoor. Griffins are to resort to just sending it over. Knights get a nice play set up, blocked nicely at the net by Silcott. A big shot there from Andrews. This time we try the other side with Stawicki. Griffins are scrambling, but they're still in this one. The Knights can't quite get it over. A little sloppy on that one as the Griffins pull to within one. Now serving for Sarah Lawrence will be number 7, Harris Silcott. He's from Los Angeles. It's Ferrari with the dig. Mantilla sends it over to Andrews. Blocked well at the net by Kapoor. Kapoor, in case you're wondering, is 6'4". So he will be busy at the net all day. Silcott once again with the serve as the two teams are now tied up. Nicely dug out by Ferrari. Mantilla sets it up to Rodriguez. That is how you draw it up. That was a pretty play from the Knights right there. To go back into the lead 10-9. We got a couple subs coming in for the Knights. Number 3, Jimmy Vega. Number 13, Julian Moreira. Moreira hailing from Miami, Florida. Vega will be serving. Dug up by Diakov, blocked at the net by Andrews and Rodriguez. On the year, Rodriguez leads the Knights in blocks and Christian Ramirez the second. They have 39 and 31 respectively. Send it to Vega again for the serve. 2-point lead for the Knights here. Dug out by Silcott. Andrews, another big hit, and that will be another kill for Andrews, as the Griffins could not control the dig. Vega looking good on the serve, as the Knights lead is now up to 3. Dug out once again by Silcott. Kapoor drop shot. Vega keeps it, sets it for JJ Verdesia. Sends it to Andrews. Another kill for Andrews. I defaulted into calling Verdesia by his first name there. He works with us during the basketball season, so got to know JJ pretty well. He's a very good kid. Great worker. As the Griffins take their first time out of the game, it is now 13-9 Gothic Knights. We'll take a quick break and be right back. Welcome back to John J. Moore here. Gothic Knights with a 13-9 lead in the first game. If you're just tuning in, this was originally going to be a tri-match. Got switched up dates a couple times, and eventually Wilkes had to withdraw because they did not have enough players. So it's just Sarah Lawrence versus NJCU. Sarah Lawrence has only 6 active players, so you'll be seeing a lot of them. The Knights are at full strength, so they have their top squad out on the court right now. This is Jim Turvey calling the game today. Ira Thor, because we are shorthanded, is doing the stats. We do have Jeanine Moseti producing today's game again. Doing a good job all year for us. Vega to Andrews. Another kill for Andrews. He's racking them up this game. 14-10 lead for the Knights here. The two teams have several common opponents, which you would imagine for two schools located as close as they are. The story favors the Knights, who are once again 11-11 on the season, compared to Sarah Lawrence, who's 1-13. Lehman, it was a 3-1 victory for the Knights, whereas the Griffins lost to them. The story was the same for Yeshiva, as well as St. Elizabeth. But the Griffins are only down 3 here in the first game. They're going to turn to Itai Diakov on the serve, dug out by Berdesia. Vega over to Ferrari. Big kill from Ferrari. Great job there. That looked like how they want to draw it up. Good looking play from the Knights there. They'll now go to Jeffrey Rodriguez to serve. Rodriguez, a freshman. He's out of Elizabeth, New York. Went to John E. Dwyer High School. Sends it to the back line. Dug out by Silcott. Kill for Moore on that one. Moore is out of Los Angeles. 2 players out of Los Angeles on the Griffins roster. 3 out of California. Verdesia, Vega, Ramirez at the net. Dug out by Massey. The point will go over to the Knights though. They now lead 16-12. Into the game, Aaron Mantilla will be serving for the Knights, and Joseph Stawicki will go to the front line. He's out of Kearney, sophomore. Mantilla is part of the Kearney crew as well. 3 Kearney players on the Gothic Knights this year. Sent over by Moore. Mantilla sets up Ramirez, deflected at the net, and that will be a point for the Knights. A kill for Ramirez. Ramirez has been very steady all year. Hasn't put up any huge numbers, but he's right among the team leaders thanks to just being a consistent presence every game. Mantilla sends a sharp one right over the net. And that will be another point for the Knights. They're now up 6, 18 to 12. Good serve from Mantilla there, forced the air. He will take the serve again. The Knights up 6. And drops it in there. Dug up by the Griffins though. Silcott sends it over. Back and forth here. Mantilla for back Andrews blocked, but it is out. So that will be a point for the Gothic Knights, who now lead 7 as their lead is the largest of the set. The Griffins will respond with a timeout. So as 19 to 12 in favor of the Gothic Knights. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to the John J. Moore Athletics and Fitness Center here in Jersey City. Gothic Knights of New Jersey City University now lead the Griffins of Sarah Lawrence College by a score of 19 to 12 as Aaron Mantilla gets called out for being the freshman here by his coach, much to the amusement of everyone on the court. Mantilla with the serve now. Sent over by Moore. Verdesio leaves it for Ferrari. He's hitting it well today. Telly's locked in. Sent over from the Griffins though. Mantilla sets one up. Ferrari blocked again at the net. The Griffins are doing a good job right there at the net. Stawicki though. Great job by Mantilla to kind of move the defense around at the net. Sets it up for Stawicki, who puts it home. The lefty, Stawicki, is a sophomore, right sider. On the season, he has he's approaching 100 kills. He has 93 kills right now. That point will go to Sarah Lawrence, who now are within 7. They'll be looking to number 6, Will Wilson, the sophomore out of Atlanta, for the serve, which does not clear the net, so we'll be going back over to the Gothic Knights, now 4 points away from a first game victory. To see Leo Ferrari serve here. Hits it nice and hard, so it should be fun to watch. Maybe you can go on a little run here. Close things out. Oh, sends it deep. Go back to the Griffins. Into the game for the Knights, you see number 11 there, Dominic Castellanos, freshman, local kid. The only directly Jersey City native on the NJCU team right now. Serving for the Griffins, now 5, Callan Moore, senior. 6'4" as well. In Division. The height for this team, just deep. Good eyes from Castellano there to let it go. Go back over to the Knights, leading by 8, 22 to 14. They'll turn to Christian Ramirez. Ramirez into the net. He had a good run at the server for the team a little while ago. This one, the first one went in the net, unfortunately. We'll go back over to the Griffins and number 7, Harris Silcott. Silcott over, hit by Verdesia. May have gone long, but kept it in. Andrews sends it over. As Massey sets it up for Kapoor, that will go out. So it's still the Knights' point in the end. In the game for NJCU, we have Jimmy Vega to serve and number 13, Julian Moreira. Vega was in quite a rush to get on the court there. He didn't quite enter properly, got called back. We now have our subs in legally, and the Knights are 2 points away from a first game victory. Vega over, dug out by Silcott. Set up by Vega for Moreira. Clips the net. Took just enough off it, let the Griffins get it. He'll get another chance here. Blocked at the wall by Diakov. And there's Rodriguez blocked with his face, I think, there for Diakov, he's doing everything. Andrews, and finally it goes over the Knights. That's there's some good defense there from the Griffins, but as they are now 1 point away from taking the first set. Vega drops it in, dug up by Diakov, not with his face this time, Bardesia. Castellano, Andrews on the kill. That is a fitting end to the first set. The Gothic Knights prevail 25-15. We will be back in a minute with the second game of this non-conference matchup in Jersey City.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
Welcome back to the John J. Moore Athletics and Fitness Center. We'll be starting the second set of the non-conference NJCU Sarah Lawrence matchup here in a second. I just wanted to give you a couple quick stats from that first set there. The Knights won the set 25-15. They had 17 kills and only 4 errors, hitting .406. Very impressive. 80% side out for the Knights. The Griffins, on the other hand, they played very defensive. They had only 5 kills and only 3 errors, hitting 111. Not quite the same. Different approach for the two teams, certainly. The Knights were led by 6 kills from Jonathan Andrews. Not surprising. He's been playing great lately. And setting up the offense was a mixture of Jimmy Vega with 6 assists and Aaron Mantil with 7. That's much similar to their last game when those two pretty much split the creator role down the middle. The leader in digs was J.J. Bardesia, the junior out of West New York. A little confusion on lineups here for the Knights. I'll make sure everyone who's supposed to be on the court is on the court. As number 16, Alexander Umanzor, now comes on. I'm not sure if there was a number written that couldn't be read or what exactly is going on, but it looks like they're all lined up now. In case you're just tuning in, this was originally going to be a tri-match with Wilkes College also in the picture, but Wilkes did not have enough players. Sarah Lawrence themselves only have 6 right now, so they're all playing. Forgive me for repeating myself if you have not just tuned in, you've been with us the whole time. I just want to clear up so people know this will be the only game of the day today. So hopefully the Knights can make the most of it. The Griffins will start off serving in the second game here. Felix Massey, freshman out of Pacific Palisades, California, will be serving. Massey sends it over, dug out by Ferrari. Vega sends it over for the Knights. Massey up, sends it, Ferrari to Vega. Andrews can't quite get to it. First point to the Griffins, who will look to break a 19-set losing streak. They've never taken a set off the Gothic Knights in the 6 previous matchups to today and the first set of this match today. Dug out by Ferrari very nicely, and Vega sets up perfectly for Jeffrey Rodriguez, who puts it home with some authority there. Rodriguez has been playing very well of lately. He's also got some sweet shoes. I don't know if you can see that on the broadcast. Griffins have a shoe issue, shoelace untied. Referee was kind to pause play. Vega will now take the serve for real. All tied up at 1 in the second set here. Ball's just sitting right there along the net. Vega sets over to Berdesia, who sends it to Umanzor, who gets the kill on the play. Vega, with the Knights now leading 2-1. Dug out by Vega. Berdesia over to Umanzor. That one's going to go long. It's all tied up at 2 here early in the second game of today's matchup. Griffins will now turn to Itai Diakov to serve. He is the junior, 5'6" junior out of Bulgaria. Nice serve there. Berdesia. Vega leaves it for Rodriguez, who will get the kill there. Knights will now turn to Jonathan Andrews to serve. He's been serving exceptionally well of lately, breaking or tying school records in recent games for number of aces. And that one will be another one. That was a strong serve from Andrews. His first ace of the game. Another serve from Andrews. This one's dug out. Stuck up in the ceiling a little bit. Send over by the Griffins. Vega right there. Leaves it for Umanzor. Bang. That'll do it for Umanzor. As the Knights now lead 5-2, taking 4 straight points. Early lead here in the second. Andrews continues to serve for the Knights here. See how long he can go. And that is in as an ace from Andrews. The Griffins seem to disagree, thinking it may have gone just long. Andrews with 3 straight aces now. See if he can add to that total. Andrews, 4 aces in a row. Andrews, impressive server all year. Seeing if he can get to 5 here. This one goes over, no ace for Andrews, but still sets the Knights up well. Umanzor blocked at the net. That'll be Moore and Silcott doing the damage as St. Lawrence takes the point. We're talking about Andrews was the NJAC Player of the Week last year. He is the first Gothic Knight ever named New Jersey Athletic Conference Player of the Week, and while that may seem extraordinary, it's because the conference only came into play this year, so it is still quite an impressive achievement, but it just relates to this season. So before this season, the Knights played all non-conference matches, and this year there's a 4-team NJAC men's volleyball conference. They have Keene, who's the number 3 team in the country. They lead the NJAC at 3-0. Ramapo is right behind them at 2-1. Rutgers Newark is 1-2, and NJCU in their first season was 0-3, having lost to all 3 of their fellow NJAC opponents when they met up this year. Then the Griffins were out of rotation there. So the Knights will pick up the point. They now lead by 5, 9-4. We see Jeffrey Rodriguez take the serve again. Rodriguez had 3 kills and hit 750 in the first set there. His hitting percentage on the year is, so pardon me while I look through the stats here. He's in 196, which is tops on the, second on the Knights, Julian Morera, who is hitting 246 of the players who are in the top half of the team for kills. Goes back to the Griffins now. We'll turn to Will Wilson, number 4 online, but number 6 on the court today. So he will look to get the Griffins a little closer. They're down 10-5 right now. Manzor, the dig, sends it to Vega. Andrews will send it over. Griffins will send it back over. See if the Knights can get a nice attack here, and they can, and Morera sends it home. Morera's doing a great job at the net all year. The Knights, one of their best attackers. Into the game for the Knights here. It's going to be number 6, Joseph Sawicki. Number 4, Aaron Mantilla. Mantilla is going to be doing the serving for the Knights. One of their better servers. He has 17 aces for the Knights this year. 3rd on the team to Andrews and Ferrari. And the Griffins, a miscommunication there, gives Ferrari his 18th ace of the season, as we spoke of that very number. Knights now lead 12-5. A 7-point lead here in the second is their biggest lead of the second set so far. They'll look to continue their strong play. Mantilla sends it over. Near kill there for Moore. And the point still does go to the Griffins. As the referee talks to Felix Massey here. Now serving for the Griffins will be number 5, Callan Moore. Nice serve there from Moore. Dug up by Andrews. Mantilla leaves it for Morera, who sends it home. Morera's having a good second set here. Get to see Ferrari serve here. Again, is second on the team in aces. The freshman who has been multiple times named the Rookie of the Week. In fact, I believe he was the NJAC Rookie of the Week the first 4 weeks of the year. Impressive run. She extends the Knight lead out to 14-6 right now. They're looking good in the second set. That's a nice serve. That will be an ace for sure. Ferrari with the ace. The Knights are winding down their season here. As we get a timeout, we'll discuss that when we get back. It's a timeout by the Griffins, 15-6 lead for the Knights. All right, we're back here at the John J. Moore Athletics and Fitness Center in Jersey City. Non-conference matchup between the Gothic Knights of NJCU and the Griffins of Sarah Lawrence College. Leo Ferrari on the serve. Sent over on the dig. Stawicki sends it over. Andrews. At that point, he was over the net there. Good attempt by Andrews, but not quite legal. So we'll send it over to number 9, Divij Kapoor, the 6'4" sophomore. He will serve for the Griffins. He gets it over. Andrews digs it out. Mantil leaves it for Moreira, who just tries to get over. Dug out by Ferrari there. Andrews hits it hard enough that the dig comes back over. So we now have a nice little rally going on here. Moore sends it over for the Griffins. Verdesia to Mantilla. Just deep from Moreira. Before the break, we were talking to you about how the Gothic Knight season was coming to a close. There's only one more tri-match that they have before ECAC tournament, should they qualify for that. On Saturday, April 6th, they will host Newman and Sage, with the two teams meeting in the middle. Action will start at 11 a.m. You want to tune in for that. The Knights sit at 11-11 on the year, right on the fringe of being able to make the ECAC tournament, so they want to make sure they win today. And they now lead 17-7 after that kill from Ferrari. A win here today is almost a necessity, and then they'll have to see how they do in that final tri-match of the season. Julian Moreira taking the serve for the Knights, junior out of Miami, who was engaged in some friendly and entertaining smack talk the last time the Knights were out at home when they were playing St. Elizabeth. Leads now up to 11 at 18-7. The Griffin coach discusses things with the ref. Into the net from Moreira. Now 18-8 for the Griffins, who will take their second timeout of the set. With the score 18-8, Gothic Knights will be back in a minute. Welcome back to the NJCU Sarah Lawrence game. Entering the game for the Knights, Raimundo Hernandez, number 15. As Julian Moreira picks up a yellow here. The referee did not take kindly to his blessing of Raimundo when he walked in the game. Serving for the Griffins will be number 10, Felix Massey, once this gets cleared up. Once again, if you're just tuning in, this is Jim Turvey today. I know Ira Thor is usually your play-by-play guy. He is doing stats because we're a little shorthanded. The games got moved around schedule-wise a little bit. So we still have Jeanine Moseti as the producer, doing a great job, but it is a different voice you're hearing today. The graduate assistant for Ira Thor. Started in the fall. The Griffins are now within 9, having taken a couple points here. It's now 18-9. As you can see on our scoreboard there. Not sure exactly what's going on here. The referee tries to figure out the service order for the Griffins. I'll make sure that the right person was serving. Referee was saying that number 9, Divij Kapoor, should have been the one serving instead of Massey. Double checking with the book. The Knights, as we said earlier, just reached 500 again for the first time since early in the season. They are at 11-11 on the year right now. They defeated John Jay on Thursday on the road 3-1, and their last time out at home before that was St. Elizabeth, a 3-0 victory. If they were to win today, it would be their first 3-game winning streak of the season. So that would be a nice thing for the Knights as they head down the stretch here. Previously had won 2 in a row a couple times during the year, but they never quite gotten over the hump for that 3rd straight win in a row. So things are looking strong right now. They took the first set 25-15. They lead right now 18-9 as Massey sends it over. And the kill for Silcott there from the Griffins makes the lead for the Knights down to 8, 18-10 now. Massey will serve again for the Griffins. Dug up by Raimundo Hernandez. And there is a big kill for Andrews. Andrews had enough of that messing around. Wanted another kill. Add to his tallies, team leading tally. Before today's game, actually through the first set, we can tell you through the first set of today's game, 182 kills on the season. Very strong player. Once again, he is out of North Bergen, sophomore. As that serve goes into the net, we'll go back to the Griffins here. Number 3, Itai Diakov. So we'll look to send the Griffins on a little run, and that will be an ace for Diakov. Hernandez couldn't quite handle it. Lead down to 7. Into the net by Diakov there. We'll go back over to the Knights, needing 5 points to take the second set of this game. Jonathan Andrews will be looking to serve here. He had a stretch of 4, maybe 5 straight aces in the first game. That one he took a little bit of heat off of. But still, oh, no, pardon me. I thought that point was going to go to Knights. It's going to go back over to the Griffins at 20-13 now. As they will look to Harris Silcott, Jr. to serve here. He sends it over as Ferrari goes to Vega. Rodriguez with the left hand. That was pretty cool. Well done there. Good adjustment from Rodriguez. We now see Moreira coming back into the game for Hernandez. Go up on that front line there. Use some of that height. Moreira is 6'4". Serve from Rodriguez is dug out by Diakov. Massey goes over to Moore. We've got Vega laying it up to Ferrari. And that will be a kill for Ferrari. The impressive freshman. Outside hitter. Listed at 6 feet. We will now get number 7, Jerlis Vasquez, into the game to serve. Give Jeffrey Rodriguez a breather. Vasquez sends it over. Almost finds no man's land in the middle there. Nature will keep it alive. Lefty from Ferrari. Knights are on the back heel, but Vasquez with a nice dig. Ferrari sends it just wide. They're never quite lined up on things right there. It's now 23-13 for the Knights. Vasquez will get the serve again. 2 points away from winning this second set here. Massey over to Kapoor, dug up by Andrews. Vega leaves it nicely for Ferrari. There's Moreira to Vega, to Ferrari, into the net. 23-13 now the score. Pardon me, 23-14. Will Wilson will now serve for the Griffins. If you're wondering who the top players on the Griffins are this year, their kills leader is Divij Kapoor, as that was a nice block from Kapoor, as we spoke of him. The leader in assists, Felix Massey, with Ite Diakov, also a strong number this year. Massey's also leader in aces, while Kapoor and Silcott lead the defense with 22 and 18 blocks respectively. Silcott and Massey are two team leaders in digs, with Massey the most with 72. All right, this is set point here in the second set, as Aaron Mantilla will do the deed. Dug up by Moore, sent over by Kapoor. There's Andrews, Mantilla, Moreira, wide, but that's going to be a point for the Knights. This was clipped at the net by number 9, Divij Kapoor. So the Knights take the second set, 25-15, same score as the first. We will be back for the third set after this. All right, welcome back to John J. Moore Athletics and Fitness Center. We're going to start the third set here in a minute. We're going to sneak in a couple quick stats there for the second set, which was again a 25-15 victory for the Knights, mirroring their first set victory. So they will look to close out this match here in the third set, maybe by a same 25-15 score for people who like numbers and patterns. In that second set, the Knights had 15 kills, 8 errors, so they didn't quite hit as well. They dropped from 406 in the first set to 212 in the second, and their side out percentage wasn't quite as strong either, going down from 80 to 62%. But the Griffins only had 1 kill for the set, so that kind of allowed the Gothic Knights some wiggle room. They actually, the Griffins hit under, they hit negative. They hit negative 053, so the Knights will look to take advantage of that again in the third set, if that should be the case. The Knights now have 3 players tied for team leading kills. They have Jonathan Andrews, Leo Ferrari, and Jeffrey Rodriguez, all at 7. Julian Moreira has 5. Rodriguez hitting 778 on those 7 kills. Very impressive number. On the defensive side of things, yeah, 3 players with 5 digs: Andrews, Jimmy Vega, and JJ Berdesia. Serving wise, Jonathan Andrews credited with 3 aces. I thought he had 4 in a row, but it looks like we officially have him in here for 3 aces. Vega gets us started here in the third. A nice read from the Griffin back line. Looks like that was Will Wilson there to call it that it was going long, which it did indeed. So Sarah Lawrence will take the serve here with Felix Massey, the freshman, leading things off. Griffin's got a 1-0 lead here in the third. Vega leaves it for Stawicki, who puts Massey on his bum there with a nice big kill. And the Knights will now flip things over Jonathan Andrews. He of the 3 aces to lead the team. See how his serve will be here in the third. Nice and high. And the Griffins look like they will get that one back over. They do indeed. Rodriguez is there at the net, but the Griffins respond. Stawicki sends it to the back line. Massey, that's going to be a point to the Gothic Knights. And we'll get another chance to see Andrews serve here. Knights have a couple of fresh faces up on the court right now. Dominic Castellano, number 11. Raimundo Hernandez, number 15. Did not start the game. Andrews clips the net on his second serve, so now sit at 2-2 here in the third set. We've covered this a couple times in case you're just tuning in. The Gothic Knights are 6-0 in all-time meetings between the Knights and the Griffins of Sarah Lawrence, with the Knights winning all 18 prior to today, now 20 games in the history of the 2 teams. So if the Knights can manage to win this third set, they will be 7-0 with 7 sweeps in the history of these 2 teams. Into the game there, Jerlis Vasquez, sophomore out of West New York, replaces Jeffrey Rodriguez, and that was over the net from Massey there, so we will have another point to the Knights. Vasquez will get a second serve as the Knights have an early 4-2 lead, very early here in the third set. Dug out by Diakov, send over by Kapoor. Castellano to Vega, nicely set up from Moreira, but the Griffins were there at the net. They've been doing a good job at the net. They've kind of been on the back foot most of the day, but they've got some good height, and I believe that's going to be a kill from Moore. Took a piece at the net. The Griffins have only the 6 players that you see right now active, so they've been playing the whole game. They got to be kind of tired here by the third set, but they've played well, especially up at the net as noted. Defensively, their attack has been a little bit lacking at times. Kapoor with the serve, that one's going to carry long. Castellano did well to let it fly. As number 16, Alexander Umanzor, will come into the game to replace number 6, Joseph Stawicki. Umanzor, part of the West New York group of guys on the team. Christian Ramirez will replace Jimmy Vega. Christian Ramirez is also part of the West New York group of players, so coach might be putting on a couple guys who are familiar with each other even from before their NJCU days. That one goes just long from Alexander Umanzor. We'll now see Will Wilson, who again lists as number 4 online, who's playing in jersey number 6 today. His serve sneaks over. Jonathan Andrews gets the dig though. And Ramirez with a nice kill Took out the line ref there, but he was able to do his job, tell us it was in, and get the point to the Knights. So go up 6-4 as we get Dominic Castellano to now serve. That one might have gone long, but Castellano gets the ace. As the Griffin back line decided to put a hand up. So it's now 7-4. Castellano is going to be serving again. So, nope, that's not going to be illegal. So we're going to go back to Castellano once again, now leading 8-4. This time, Diakov is up to the task. Moore sends it over. Umanzor. And Castellano's just going to send it over. Kind of funky attack there. Kind of cool, though. And the Knights had 3 guys up at the front and no one right behind. So when the block got clipped, it was able to drop in right behind the front line. Referee move in JJ Berdesia off the bench to do his stretches. Now go back to Kellen Moore, the senior with the serve. Castellano with the dig. Umanzor leaves it beautifully for Ramirez. It goes just long. That'll now be 8-6 to the Knights as Moore gets another chance to serve. And that one goes in the net, and we'll go right back to NJCU. Jeffrey Rodriguez will be coming in here for the Knights, take the place of Jiralis Vasquez. And Julian Marrera going between the legs there, and be serving for the Knights. The Miami native sneaks it over there, dug up by Moore. Not entirely sure what happened there from Massey. I don't think he is either as he looks down at his hand. 10-6 lead now for the Gothic Knights. We're rocking the Nikes. Step up for the serve. And that finds a gap. Nice ace for Marrera there. Sorry if you're getting a little bit of static here. I'm not sure what's going on with the sound. Looks like maybe it's cleared up now. Marrera will try and extend the Gothic Knight lead. They're now up 5. Big serve. Dug out nicely by Kapoor though. Still caught with a nice little drop shot that found the Bermuda Triangle there between the Gothic Knight defenders. Raimundo comes on in his libero role. We'll see number 7, Harris Silcott, take the serve for the Griffins and send it just long. Got a couple subs for the Knights here. We got number 6, Joseph Sawicki, number 3, Jimmy Vega. They come on for Umanzor and Ramirez. Vega will be doing the serving. Vega clips the net. That might have had the Griffins fooled, and then Diakov backs into his own dig, and that will lead to a timeout from the Griffins, who now trail 13-7. We'll be right back. Back here is the Knights lead 13-7 in the third set. They took the first set 25-15. Took the second set 25-15. lead by 6 here in the second set. You double each score. It's feasible we could get another 25 to 15 score here in the third. Raimundo Hernandez sets up for Jonathan Andrews, who hits it exactly where it needs to be, getting him yet another kill on his impressive day. I believe that's number 8 for the sophomore out of North Bergen. Vega steps up here, leading 14-7. Moore with the dig, Sokot, and sent over. Vega to Andrews, who keeps it alive. Griffins will get a chance to attack, and that will be a kill for Kapoor. Vega went for the left hand there. Hey, Castellano just behind him. And now we'll go back to the Griffins, who will turn to Felix Massey. It's their best server by aces this year at least. He sends in a nice serve, dug up by Andrews. Vega sends it over to Stawicki. Gets the kill, tall lefty there. Stawicki, 6'5", the tallest player listed on either roster. Now see Andrews serve. Sporting 4 aces on the day so far. The reigning NJAC Player of the Week, as we noted earlier. The first ever NJCU player to win NJAC Player of the Year in the conference's first year. Knights are 11-11 on the year, 0-3 in conference play. There's only 4 teams in the NJAC this year, and they all played each other just the one time. So, and that will go to the Gothic Knights, who now lead 16-9. Get Julius Vasquez back into the game for the Knights. He will be serving as well, with Moreira and Stawicki, 2 big men up front for the Knights. Vasquez drops it in. Blocked at the net by the Knights. Kept alive well by the Griffins. Andrews to Moreira, casually sends it over to Castellano, who gets... Oh, it was just out. Must have just missed. I thought Castellano had a clever kill there. Just missed. So we go back to Divij Kapoor for the Griffins, who will look to serve with the Griffins down 16-10. Kapoor sends it over, dug up by Andrews. Get Vega to Stawicki. Clips the nets. Yep, clips the net there before it could get over. Now the lead down to 5 for the Gothic Knights. Kapoor with his second serve here. That one sneaks in, dug up by Andrews again. Vega over to Castellano, blocked, but it goes out. That will be a point for the Gothic Knights, and now lead 17-11. A couple of subs coming in here. Got number 16, Alexander Umanzor. Number 2, Christian Ramirez. The West New York duo have been coming in tandem this game. Umanzor, lefty, 6-foot lefty. Be taking the serve here. Runs up, smacks it. Nice serve. That will be an ace. Great serve from Umanzor. See if he can replicate that service on his second serve here. Comes running up again. That one takes out the back of his teammate's head there, Moreira. He apologizes. Dominic is getting quite a kick out of that for the Knights. Moreira is a good sport about it. And it's now 18-12. You see Griffin send it, and that will go long. Get Knights back up 7 here in the third and potentially final set if the Knights can hold on and sweep the Griffins here. Looks like Sarah Lawrence will be taking a timeout down 19-12. We'll be right back. Back after a quick break here. The Knights will be serving again. Dominic Castellano. He is a freshman of Jersey City. He sends it over. Kapoor digs it out. Morera, what's the call going to be here? And that will be a point to the Gothic Knights, who now lead 20-12. Castellano with the serve. Sorted out who got the stat there. Vasquez digs it out, but sends it right to the Griffins. Christian Ramirez clips the net on his attack. It will go back over to the Griffins, down 19-13. They've kind of been lingering in that 5 to 6 point deficit most of the third set here. The Knights will look to close them out. The Griffins obviously will look to make a run within striking distance for sure. A kill like that, that will move the game right along though. Andrews gets up, gets the ball down, and we're looking at a 20-13 lead here for the Knights. Jeffrey Rodriguez comes back on. He of the high hitting percentage for the Knights today, and last couple games as well, to be honest. He's playing very well right now. Makes the most of his opportunities, having a good time at the net as well. Morera right into the net for the Gothic Knights. Go back over to St. Lawrence College. We'll now look at Harris Silcott for the Griffins. The junior, middle back. The coach calls let it go. Castellanos with the dig. Goes right into the basketball hoop above. Fires down, and it's a point for the Griffins, who are not down 5. They're kind of lingering around in this one. They've only reached 15 points in every other set, and Jeffrey Rodriguez looks to keep it that way. He says, I like that number 15, let's keep it there. As Leo Ferrari will now come into the game to serve, which is a good sign for the Knights. See if they can close out this game and this match against Sarah Lawrence, non-conference match. And there is an ace from Ferrari, now 3 points away. Believe that is the second ace of the game for Ferrari. Second on the team this year in aces. Freshman, takes a little bit off this one. Just wanted to make sure it got in. Kapoor up, blocked by Rodriguez, but out. So that will be a point for the Griffins, who now send Felix Massey to serve, and they have eclipsed the 15-point mark here in the third, so no 25-15, 25-15, 25-15 for people out there who may have wanted it, weirdly, like myself. Into the net, and the Knights are now 2 points away. They will give it to Jonathan Andrews, who again is their top server, both today and on the season. And he will look to close out the match. Takes a little bit off, and Griffins are going to be able to return it. Dug up by Andrews. Ferrari to Umanzor, clips the net. Keep going here, and that's going to hit the net, and we are now on match point for the Gothic Knights, leading 24-16. Jonathan Andrews taking the serve, looking to send everyone home a little after 5. Andrews just a bit long there. The Griffins will go to Itai Diakov out of Bulgaria, looking to make a late run in the third game here. He sends it, Andrews digs it. Ferrari, that's not going to be legal, as St. Lawrence is now within 6. They've now won 2 straight points here on match point. And that will do it. The Gothic Knights prevail, 25-15, 25-15, 25-18. They improved to 12-11 on the season, getting over 500 for the first time in a little while. Let's check the math here. Looks like they were They've reached 7-7, but they have not been over 500 since they were 3-2. So that's a good bench watermark for the Knights to get over. Sarah Lawrence, meanwhile, drops to 1-14 on the season. And again, if you tuned in late or if you just zoned out a bunch, this is the only game of the day, only match of the day, as Wilkes was not able to send a team. So instead of the original tri-match, we ended up with just a non-conference matchup between these two. So we'll read you some final stats here and then send you on your way. Once again, the Gothic Knights won in 3 sets, winning 25-15, 25-15, 25-18. The leaders on the day for the Gothic Knights with 9 kills, Jonathan Andrews, Jeffrey Rodriguez had 8, Leo Ferrari had 7. Assists, Jimmy Vega had 17, Aaron Mantilla had 12. Jonathan Andrews once again led the team in aces. He had 3 of those, with Dominic Castellano and Leo Ferrari right behind him with 2. On the defensive side of things, Jonathan Andrews and Jimmy Vega each had 7 digs. And the Knights split up their blocks. They had Jonathan Andrews, Chris Ramirez, Jeffrey Rodriguez, and Joseph Stuckey all with a block assist each. In the final set, they had only 7 kills. They hit 214. They didn't make too many errors. And for the game, they had a side-out percentage of 73%. All right, once again, this was Jim Turvey covering for Ira Thor on Gothic Vision. The Gothic Knights defeat the Griffins of Sarah Lawrence College 3-0, 25-15, 25-15, 25-18.